one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially in level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. Right? Been able to play events in Spain.
You're in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here, Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but it's so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Championships, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and really, if there's ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. It was. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me, so I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood up, I just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or I don't. So yeah, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pits, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun as the countdown to the torch being lit is officially on. We're now less than 48 hours away from the Olympic events beginning, albeit the opening ceremonies take place on Friday. We'll break it down. We've got a ton of best bets for you, but we've also got a ton of drama to start things off tonight. NBA Summer League championship game, the Memphis Grizzlies and the Miami Heat both went 5-0 in Summer League play coming into tonight, playing for the championship, and you do get a ring if you are a player and you win the NBA Summer League. It's tied right now, 113 with 4 seconds left. We could have overtime potentially. The Miami Heat just had the ball and a chance to win in the game's final seconds, but they took it to the rack and they committed an offensive foul. So it wouldn't surprise me if Memphis hit a 3 here. They're actually laying 3 in the game. They're having a hard time getting the ball in. Man, I thought the dude on Miami just committed a foul. I'm like, really, you going to decide this on the free throw? I'll let these kids finish this off. This is really, really cool. Like, as far as the Summer League is concerned, this game has been lit. The total was 187.5, man. All right? It's 113, and we're not in overtime. All right, here comes the shot. Go for the win. We're going to overtime. Wow. We're going to overtime for the NBA Summer League Championship. And I'll tell you what, I like it because you know how I roll. I took the over this game. And then I just started clicking. And I regret not clicking more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the way I haven't had a great summer league, to be honest. In fact, it was my worst summer league ever. I didn't bet as much as I normally did because I always lost when I bet. So, you know, here we go. It's the last game, and I jumped in again. You know, nobody likes a quitter. So I jumped in again. I'm like, you know what? I don't know, man. This game's a toss-up. I'm going to take the 3 points with the underdog. And I'm going to go over the number. I figured it's going to be a track meet. But then I took, I took the over 187.5. And I took it over 186 in game, a 195.5 in game, a 219.5 in game. And I thought I was pushing it a little bit, but I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Let's go all the way in here. And I took it over 233.5 in game. It wouldn't unless it's going over. So we're going to hit the over 233.5 as well. But I might lose the Miami Heat +3 now. We'll see if we can get the clean sweep in this basketball game. It's not the only basketball going on right now. You got to love the summer, man. People think there's nothing going on ever. There's always something. It's always happy hour somewhere. There's always an event. There's always stuff going on. It was the summer of soccer. That'll resume again, and we'll get into that tonight. But right now, basketball. So we got the Summer League Championship game going to overtime. They locked it up right now, just for the record. We'll see if they unlock it. It's a 2-minute period. So this is like super speed style here. This is a fast, like, overtime format here. We got TBT basketball going on, the basketball tournament. The college alum and the mercenary teams and Team DRC, Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, the football player, is a basketball team. He's got like a ringer team. So DRC is taking on Team Jimmer Fredette right now. We're tied at 42. The second half has just started. I posted the pic on Twitter. I'm on Team Fredette. All right, so we got a target score here of 120 right now. So we're at 113. And we also have target scores in this basketball tournament, which is a challenge when you bet on the totals as well, which can sometimes get you back in it. Teams start to play differently with these target scores. So target score of $1.20 right now. I should take it with We Are D3. They lost the game, covered the number, but we did lose with Florida TNT over. So Aftershocks and Team Colorado. Aftershocks are laying 4.5. Colorado were up 33-32 at the half. Second half has just started of Team DRC and Fredette. We're on Fredette to win the game, and we're on over, 153.5. And I like the in-game total, but it's slowing down a little bit. You can get a good number here at 158.5. So the pregame number was 153.5. I got a 162.5 at halftime, but it's been a little slow start here in the third quarter. So we'll keep our eye on Team DRC and Team Fredette. As you can see, we got a lot of stuff going on for we're supposedly on set here. See, that's what championship basketball is about. Good job. So I was going to get to this a little bit later on. We had a little video issue there, so I figured, all right, good job by Foster. Roll now. We'll play that again later. Jordan's living the good life in Portofino. That looks like quite the rich restaurant he was at, actually, too. We got a great other video we'll show you after. 115-114 right now for the Miami Heat. Great game. Great game. Ball. We have the Dodgers and the Giants. This game hasn't started yet. It's right now. I like the under 8.5 in this game. I like the Dodgers to win the game. And there's a pitcher making his debut for the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. River Ryan makes his professional debut. He's ranked 4th in the Dodgers pipeline, one of their top prospects. And I always like betting on pitchers when they make their debut. A lot of people think, he could struggle. He's coming up from AAA or AA. No, these hitters haven't seen the pitchers before. And oftentimes the pitchers will do better in their first start. This kid can throw like everybody else can, like upwards of 100. His fastball like averages 98.9 miles an hour type of deal. He tops out at about 99, but he's pretty consistent with it. So he's a strikeout pitcher. He's got nasty stuff, and his strikeout prop is 3.5 tonight. So let's go with let's go down here. Let's go with River Ryan over 3.5 strikeouts, under 8.5 in the baseball game. I think Snell will pitch well tonight, but I think the Dodgers are being underpriced a little bit. The Los Angeles Dodger team coming off of a sweep of the Boston Red Sox. 115-114 right now. You can't say this game doesn't matter to these teams. You got a coach's challenge going on. So we've got the Heat plus 3 points. I got to get to 234 here, which I'm pretty much guaranteed to because I got to get to 120. So good stuff. We're going to cash that ticket. Let's cash some baseball tickets tonight. We'll break it down in-game style. Philadelphia Phillies and the Twins were delayed. They're only in the bottom of the fourth right now. So we got a lot of stuff to break down and track here this evening. Joe Madden will step up and in the Ranger Red Cam Stewart, George Kurtz, Mo Khan. Countdown to kickoff is on. And countdown to the Olympics. The Olympics are set to begin. Team USA barely survives again. And say what you will about LeBron James, but LeBron James is like saving the United States' ass. He saved them against South Sudan, and then he saved them against Germany once again today. There's two ways you can look at this. You can say, wow, these are exhibition games and they don't matter, or this is just a telltale sign of things to come. Bring it.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event, level of competition that I hadn't really enjoyed. Right, being able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind it. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Championships, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This wind in the golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it's always fun to be back home and be with the crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. It's just one of those days for me, so I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, I just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often. Certainly I don't. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it and managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. So, yeah, great job. As we rolled into the Michael Jordan, we had a little bit of a technical issue for a second. It's probably kind of fitting, actually, the way my last 24 hours have gone. We loaded up on the BC Lions to win the football game against the Calgary Stampeders, and then we loaded up some more in-game, and then we loaded up some more going into the fourth quarter, thinking there's no way they're not eventually going to win this game. End up losing the game in like the most weird CFL possible way when it's all said and done. And I get over the losses. It's all good. It's all fun and games. We're clicking away. It's the late night hours, and then my fire alarm in my condo unit goes off. And it, used to always go off in the last condo I lived in. This one, it doesn't. It does. It'll stop right away. But I could kind of like it wasn't me. And there were a bunch of people on the street that looked up to me and started yelling at me. Hey, there's a.
Things about joining Live was being able to come here and front of a Spanish crowd, especially in a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. play events in Spain.
In the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind it.
Back to the yeah, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Gabe was just telling the story about the fire alarm. I remember the last time we were in Toronto. I thought, was that bacon and eggs? I forget what happened. He was cooking a late night bacon and eggs, and things went a little bit bonkers. But yeah, fire alarms. Not my neighbors were ringing the other day too. He's like, "Did you hear the fire alarm?" Well, yeah. What? I'm the fire. So we'll deal with the fire alarm situation. Yeah. Everybody gave last time. I remember late night bacon and eggs. Lots of smoke.
Yeah. There's smoke coming out of my head right now. It's like, really? They're like 2 minutes, guys, or like we get shut down. Off to a great start this week. As I'm saying, I've already been screwed over the last 24 hours constantly. And we've been shut down twice to start. So, yeah, great start here. We're running in a fun fashion on this Monday night meltdown here this evening. But on the plus side, the Miami Heat won. So Miami wins 120 to 118, Cam. Little NBA Summer League action.
Yeah, tonight, Gabe, your Dodgers in action against the San Francisco Giants tonight, and that game's just getting ready and underway. And I was talking to Dad and the show. We talked about it, Joe. Should be an interesting matchup. Snell going against the Dodgers. It's been better recently, coming off that 8K against the Minnesota Twins in a victory. But Dodgers, tell you, these guys and the Giants, no love lost between these teams. Should be interesting. The Giants, not even in the same league as the LA Dodgers, but to get up for this series, Gabe and Joe, as you know, we'll see. Snell's been pitching a lot better recently. The question is he going to do against that murderer's row and that very, very dangerous lineup?
I'm on the under in this game. I'm under 8.5. The Dodgers in the game. Anytime you get the Dodgers at a reasonable price like this, you got to pull the trigger. Coming off the series sweep against the Boston Red Sox, obviously, which is always scary when a team is coming off a big sweep like this. There's a pitcher making his debut for the Dodgers tonight. I brought it up off the top of the program, choppy part of the program, but I brought it up off the start. River Ryan makes Major League Baseball debut tonight. Fourth-ranked Dodgers prospect in the pipeline, one of their top pitchers in the pipeline. He's been dominant at Oklahoma City so far this year. Fastball is pretty much a consistent 98, 99 miles an hour, and the strikeout prop is only 3.5. Giants have never seen this kid before. He's going to be throwing heat. The only question is what do the Dodgers leave him in for, but I expect them to leave him in for like 4 or 5 innings if the kid can do it, and he's getting people out. I love betting on pitchers. It's sort of like the back goalie stuff, right, that are making their debuts. I love betting on these stud pitchers making their debuts in baseball when the other team hasn't seen the kid yet and it's tough yet. I like the Dodgers to win the game. I like the under 8.5 in the baseball game, and I like River Ryan over 3.5 strikeouts, Cam.
Yeah, no, I was looking at him too, and I'm going to take the over there, and I like Snell too. He's been a lot better, so I think it could be a pitcher matchup tonight, Gabe. In the baseball game makes a lot of sense. Should be a real good one between the Giants and Dodgers. When they get together too, I think both teams will be at their best, not sloppy baseball, expecting baseball. Dodgers got a lot of injuries too. This kid, if he's good, keep him in. I agree.
Let's roll.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially in a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful drama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
It has so much history behind it. It's only a 50 years old club, but it's so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have LED.
It's very exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
I feel like this win, this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when you play. But it's always fun to be back home, and it's always a joy to have people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course are you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. It was. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those. I suppose this is one of those days for me that I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood up, I just I could make it. I don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of shots as well. So it was a special day.
It's SportsRage. The Monday Night Meltdown continues. The Pips, the players, the hustlers, the people, and everybody else. In between, Phillies are up 2-1 on the Twins right now. The Miami Heat have just won the NBA Summer League in a really super exciting game, actually. It's crazy high score, 118 final score with the target score of $120. So the Heat win the NBA Summer League. We've got TBT basketball going on right now for the hardcores. This tournament is always a lot of fun, always tricky to bet on, and it's starting to get away from it right now with Team DRC and Team Fredette. Team DRC is up 60-49 right now on Team Fredette. Aftershocks are up 6-39 on Team Colorado, and what I don't like, it's been a low-scoring third quarter here in Team DRC and Team Jimmer Fredette. All right, we got Joe Madden in the house, the Raging Redhead, Cam Stewart. I think we've got some of the technical worked out here early. Good to see you, Joe. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a nice night so far. I actually had the overtime bet, thankfully, because I was working in-game live prime time for this Heat game, and it came up at plus 1,500 when they were tight in that fourth quarter at one point. Jumped on it, and that's the best cash of the day for sure.
The Summer League ends up paying you something much bigger than any other league could have given you. Awesome stuff. Getting a plus 1,500 to go to overtime. So we got the Dodgers and the Giants right now. What do you want in this game, Joe? End of the first inning already right now. Still scoreless. So my under 8.5 off to a good start. Who do you like in this game?
Yeah, so I'm kind of the place in this game. I was talking to Cam earlier in in-game live prime time, and I love his bet of Sal over on a strikeout over 6.5. I really do think that has an opportunity of cashing, but I did go in on Will Smith for that anytime home run in this one. Snell has allowed 2 home runs to Will Smith over his career, but he tries to walk him. He's walked him 5 times. I think Will Smith has the ability to get that home run, and the value's there at plus 520 in this one. So that was my bigger bet in this game.
Nothing wrong with taking a shot. Will Smith, he tries to do is hit home runs. Although I think Blake Snell's prop is the trap of the day. Or it's been somehow, I saw a write-up on it earlier today, and people are talking about, metrics and this and that and stuff. It's like, all right, he's at Chavez Ravine against the Dodgers. The Dodgers, for to stay in the baseball game that long to get to 7 strikeouts. Kind of a toss-up. For the record, nobody has a strikeout yet. So I'm on Ryan over 3.5 strikeouts. He doesn't have a strikeout, and Snell didn't strike anybody out. First inning, we're to the top of the second right now. Scoreless in this game. And Phillies and the Twins, Cam, any action for you here? Philadelphia Phillies and the Minnesota Twins. They were a delay, but back. That's why they're only in the 5th inning right now.
Yeah, Gabe. No, just the strikeout props in this game that we're talking about. And I found an opportunity with the Red Sox when I was on with Joe Ranieri and Madden. Colorado was up 4-0. We got 3.5, and they hit a 3-run bomb. So that's good. That's right now. So that's all I got is the Red Sox plus 3.5 runs and the strikeout props in the Dodgers game. That's the only action I got in baseball.
You know, the Mariners are playing actually as well, Joe, against the LA Angels. The total is 5.5 in this game right now. Mariners, just a consistent under baseball team, came back yesterday, avoided a sweep against the Astros. And speaking of the Astros, kind of a surprise right now, the Athletics guy up 3-0 on the Astros. Any other baseball for you, Joe, with the Rockies and the Red Sox?
The Oakland A's to hold this lead right now. I took them in the first 5 innings. I believe it was at plus 118. I also took their team total over 3.5, so need one more run out of them. I don't trust their bullpen enough. We saw what happened versus the Angels yesterday, allowing them to get back in that game. So first 5 play for the Oakland A's in this one. And then looking at the LA Angels and the Seattle Mariners, I just went easy on this one. I took a same game parlay with the under 7.5 the Seattle Mariners to get the win. I can't trust either of these teams offensively to get runs on the board. We know Seattle has been absolutely struggling with that, and I know the bullpen of the Angels isn't too strong here, but with the offensive struggles of Seattle, I expect this one to stay under. The books now having this at 5.5. I would still take the under 5.5, Gabe. It's juicy at minus 132.
Yeah, it's just a little too low for me. If it was 6.5, I might.
What Morency was thinking, I'm like, maybe tonight he accidentally hit the Oakland A's. Hell, it won by 10 runs last time.
No.
They're your team. The accidental button.
I haven't gone back to push my luck with them. They seem to be winning, though, recently. More than losing, actually. They're on a little bit of a run over the last week or so.
That's true, yep.
They were playing the Angels, though. That's why.
Yeah, that's
right. So sort of like they're playing the Angels. But no, nice stuff here. I'll tell you what, though. One thing with a team like the Oakland Athletics, and I saw this with the Expos when they were leaving. When teams are leaving, they're going to be a little more dialed up as the season goes on right now, especially at home, right? Like the fact of the matter is, a lot of the A's players don't want to go to Sacramento. They don't have a choice, but they don't want to go. And you know what I mean? They're going to play hard for the Athletic fans on the way out, even if there's 3,000 of them or 5,000 of them or whatever. There's going to be sort of this feeling there. And it's a lot of the Expos, Cam and Joe. Players used to tell me of visiting teams were like, man, it's hard to play here. And I was like, why? And it wasn't because of the nightclubs and all that type of stuff. They were talking about the stadium. And they said, we're actually used. They said, man, every night you're used to, like, there's like 40,000 people. They said, like, when you go to New York or somewhere, you're playing somewhere, you can't really hear people. It's just sort of a wall of noise. In Montreal, like, you hear someone call you, like, F your stuff. Like, you can hear everything. So quiet and easy to sleep.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in a Spanish crowd, especially the level of event and level of competition that I haven't really yet enjoyed. I've been able to play events in Spain.
Beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, there's so much history behind it. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Championships, and now
it's very exciting. And really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, if feel like this was a perfect week.
I feel like this wind, this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. It was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
Brutal out there.
It is. I don't know. It was. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those, I suppose this is one of those days for me. So I really
Monday Night Meltdown continues. This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Joe Mattenham Stewart in the house with us. So the NBA Summer League has come to a close. We've got another basketball tournament going with the TBT tournament. Always a lot of fun, unpredictable tournament. Team RC Roger has the team. He's winning 67-57 right now. He doesn't play on the team, but he sponsors the team. Team Fredette, Jimmer Fredette, does play on the team. 67-57. Team DRC are up. Somewhat of a surprise. The total's 143.5. In-game 147.5 right now. I'm hoping for a flurry of points in the next minute or two before they get targets. But I think I'm going to fall just short. We got a full slate of Major League Baseball going on. Dodgers and Giants take center stage here this evening. Still scoreless. We saw Shohei Ohtani's absolute blast. That's the home run that he hit last night. That was that's the best home run I've ever seen at Dodger Stadium. And I went to a lot of games there. I wasn't there last night, obviously, but I lived in LA. I went to a lot of freaking Dodger games. Like one year I went to like 62 out of the 81 games. Never seen anybody hit it out of the stadium like that. 473 feet. He put it over the center field. It went through like one of the advertised signs that they have. And actually, like it was only like that big, and it somehow went through it into the parking lot. Somebody got the ball in the parking lot. Absolutely murdered the baseball last night against the Boston Red Sox. And crazily enough, it wasn't the longest home run of the day. Soler cranked one 478 feet last night. So remember that at next year's home run derby. They set the number at like 484, 482.5. Even when they absolutely hit it out of the stadium, they only get credit for like 473 feet, which I still don't really understand. But so Dodgers have a runner off first, still scoreless here. Joe, I brought it up earlier. I was shocked by the BC Lions losing to the Calgary Stampeders, but give credit to the Stampeders. They made plays when they had to, and you could just sort of tell from really early on in the football game that BC were not on. They weren't themselves, but give it to the Calgary Stampeders. They were rushing 3 defensive linemen, and they were terrorizing Vernon Adams and BC defensive line. And they did as well, actually, too, the game I was at. I'll tell you what, like the Calgary Stampeders, they really have some sort of recipe defensively for slowing down the Lions. And we've seen it 2 times this year now, Joe.
Yeah, we absolutely have. And we saw Jake Mayer really come alive in the game yesterday, really being able to push that ball down the field. But it did come down, in my opinion, to the defense really rattling Vernon Adams Jr. out there. They were able to break through his offensive line and get those sacks on him. And it's interesting to see Calgary play like that, because we've seen Calgary in other matchups against opponents that they should have beat, and they weren't able to do so. So it's like they almost get up for the BC Lions in these matchups, especially when at home. So I was really impressed. It was a tight game. Both teams did play nice and solid, but you look at Vernon Adams Jr. and their ability to limit his big plays, those long passes down the field. Calgary just had something special in yesterday's game. So we'll see how they do in the next game. They're facing Ottawa this week. Could it be a letdown spot game?
What it was they smoked Vernon Adams early in the game. They injured him. Like, Vernon Adams was really, really beat up. He's not the biggest dude. And I thought there should have been like 3 or 4 late penalties called. Like, they lit him the F up a couple of times, and they couldn't stop it. BC's line could not protect him throughout the game. And I'll tell you what, one thing that really affected the BC Lions cam last night was the sheer heat, Joe, in Calgary. And it's surprising because it's been really hot in Vancouver. It's been like 90 degrees for the most part as well, but not the same type of heat. There's the ocean here and stuff, like an ocean breeze. Like, it's different. You could see the BC Lion players last night. Like, dude, one by one, they were cramping. They were going down. They needed oxygen on the sidelines. Like, it was sort of like watching a Buffalo Bills game in Miami in a hot September game. It's like, yeah, this is just not going to be their day today. Like, you could see it, bro. Like, they were getting back to the sideline. They were ripping, and they were like, give me water. Or like, they were really panicked, the BC Lions. They got to them point blank. They made a lot of bad decisions because of the heat, too.
That's an excellent point. Another thing, too, is Adams was open, and you're right, Dave. He got rocked in that game. A lot of passes just overflowing the receiver with the wind, not playing it perfectly. It was sweaty, damp, hot. You saw it too. Calgary, they really had some nice packages there. They limited this in the game. It was a very good game. The kickers were fantastic on both sides, but you're absolutely right. BC brought their B game, and I'll tell you, they still almost won that game. The CFL's crazy. 2 weeks ago, every game over. This week, every game under. What a league.
Yeah. It's crazy is right. Not too fun, but crazy. I paid the price.
Crazy football league.
BC covered the teaser, but big win, massive win for the Calgary Stampeders. And, yeah, listen, the football team, but so are the Rough Riders. And the Bombers are suddenly the ones that are a little bit of trouble. It's been a fun season in the CFL, and it rolls on. And as you stated, Joe, the Stamp and the Red Blacks are up first in Ottawa. And listen, Ottawa for 6.5 wins, already at 4 right now. But I'm having a hard time, like, figuring out if they're really that good, or they did play Edmonton in back-to-back weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at, like, some of the they played, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Like, if you look at Ottawa, they haven't played a gauntlet yet. All right, let's see you go to Montreal. Let's say they went to Montreal, they got lit up. So you got to go back there. Let's see you play the BC Lions. Like, I think once they start playing the league, it'll leave it out a little bit. But let's credit, they're winning games, and they always get disrespected. Look, the Edmonton Elks were freaking 1-point underdogs, and now you got Calgary 1.5-point road favorites. My lean here, Joe, early in the week is the Ottawa Red Blacks, actually. People are going to be all high on their snap. They won at home against the Lions. The Red Blacks are being disrespected. They keep on winning games.
Yeah, I'm completely with you here. I think you fade Calgary in this position. They're coming off such a big win over the BC Lions. And then you look at their schedule for week 9. They'll face Toronto in that week. So I think this is a prime look at situation to that matchup with Toronto there. Will Chad Kelly be back for Toronto in week 9, or is he back in week 10 or 11?
He would be back in week 10. He's suspended for the first 9 weeks of the season. I think he's going to be back, to be honest. I think the Argos are just going to eat a couple of days of bad publicity. If Cameron Dukes is better, no. But he is not good enough. So I think they want Kelly back.
one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event, level of competition that I didn't really yet enjoy. Right now, to play events in Spain.
Here, the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
But it has so much history, and it's only a years old club, but it's so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Championships, and now we have.
It's exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you play it. But it's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. It was. It's not everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me. I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it. And you get days too often, or certainly I don't. So yeah, I really should. And I hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
And I'm out. Dodgers and Giants still scoreless right now. In-game total all the way down to 5.5 already. We're in the bottom of the third inning right now. River Ryan made his Major League Baseball debut for the Dodgers tonight. He pitched 3 innings so far. Put up 1 hit. He's walked 1 and he struck out 1. I've got over 3.5 strikeouts for River Ryan. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. I don't know. Like, he's already pitched 3 innings. How many innings he's going to go in his debut? Probably 5. As I stated, like, I don't know. Maybe let him. He's got 33 pitches right now, but it doesn't look good. Blake Snell, strikeout update. Snell has 1 strikeout as well so far. Going into the bottom of the third inning. Royals are beating up on the D-backs right now, 10-4. But this, guys, the Minnesota Twins have come back on the Phillies to take a 3-2 lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. And the White Sox and Rangers are tied at 3 in extra innings, which would probably be a good time to bet against the White Sox late in the game. But it's locked up right now. The Rockies are up 4 on the Boston Red Sox after 7 innings. So the Red Sox, of course, lost 3 straight, and Chavez Ravine to the Dodgers, now facing a 4-game losing streak out of the All-Star break. Athletics have put another run on the board for you, Joe, here, 4-0 on the Astros. Game total is 8.5 in this game right now after 4 innings. And you know what? I might bite on this one, actually. Looking for a little late action. No, I'm going to go under 8.5 personally. I think the Athletics will shut them down.
Interesting. Yeah, hey, man, the Oakland A's they're playing pretty baseball right now. Interesting, because the first instinct would be to take the over. If Houston gets 4, the game's definitely going over. But right now, Oakland's getting damn good pitching in this game. Really holding Houston down. Very impressive.
The book read my mind, Joe. I should have put it in before I talked. They just put 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, now I got to find a stupid alternate total.
Yeah, I'm seeing it 8.5 on FanDuel, but it's minus 145, Gabe. So tons of juice under.
Yeah. I'd rather do that though than a 7.5. But there it is. It was plenty at 7.5. They already just moved that, but I like the under 8.5. I think it'll remain under the number. That total is 4.5 now. The Mariners and the Angels. middle of the fifth inning in that game. So back to the CFL. The Toronto Argonauts lost to the Hamilton Tiger Cats on Saturday night. We were all on the Ticats. It was a fun football game. Stayed under the number by a point, which was frustrating. It was 52, and it got to 51, which was kind of symbolic of this week. The Bombers are now 1-point underdogs, Joe, at Toronto. Total 49.5. I personally like the Toronto Argonauts here to bounce back off of last week's loss. Hamilton were a desperate football team. I'm not surprised that Hamilton played the way that they did. And quite frankly, we talked about the Red Blacks being disrespected by the odds maker on a weekly basis. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are over-respected by the odds makers. They're being priced like they're the Bombers of yesteryear, and we see this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team is not as good as last edition, just point blank. I think the Argonauts beat them, even though the Argonauts arguably have them and Edmonton have the least home field advantage in the CFL. I still think they can beat the Bombers. I don't think the Bombers are very good, Joe.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. They're saying 2-5 on the season. This team just has way too many struggles for me to back them here on the road in Toronto. I think Toronto can get it done. They're minus 113 right now on the money line. You can grab the plus 1.5 at minus 128. I do the money line for them. That total 49.5 is interesting to me, Gabe. I wish they had some props out right now, especially the team total, because I will be looking at Toronto's team total to the over. I think they'll be able to get the points on the board. I'm just not seeing anything as of yet for those points to come. Now, there are some bets. You look at Toronto in this one to win it by 1 to 13 points. It's coming in at plus 150. I think that has value. I think they can win this by, a field goal, a touchdown. They're right in that area, and you've 1 to 13 to work with.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they won by more than 13 points, or if anyone won by more than 13 points. Sam, who do you like in that game?
Eileen Argos, I'll tell you something. Grant has just been an absolute machine, Gabe, and he almost got to the total in that Ticats game with that late touchdown run. He's had 3 touchdowns recently, climbing up the CFL charts. Here's the deal. You're right, Gabe. It's one of those things, reputation alone. They're not a very good football team. The Argos coming off a loss to bitter rivals in Hamilton and almost coming back in the fourth to win that game. Eileen Argos, they should be able to take care of business. Winnipeg used to beat them down. So I think they'll be ready to go at home in this spot and win a game, probably pretty close one, but I like the Argos.
The Elks, a winless team. They've been pretty competitive this year. The last 5 games by a combined 20 points. And then they fired their coach. They played Ottawa again, Joe. They played their worst game of the year, actually. Like, Edmonton took a big step back last week. For everything that they've done, they were all close. That wasn't close. It was just an absolute train wreck. The play calling remains to be terrible. They're just not a very good football team. It's kind of an statement, but their defense never makes a play when they have to. And Hamilton are coming off. Hamilton know that it's a long season and they can start racking up some wins. They can get back in this thing and squeak into the playoffs. I'm just done trusting the Edmonton Elks personally. Like, if you want, I could tell, if you told me the Elks were getting 10.5 points against somebody or something like that, I'll listen to you. But I can't. It's been 2 weeks in a row now that a winless team in the Elks have basically been a pick 'em. And here we go again, where the game, you know what I mean? It's just a small point spread here. You can't trust the Edmonton Elks, just point blank.
No. I mean, who wants to play minus 146 on a money line with a winless team that finds
favored by 2.5?
They're favored by 2.5. It's like nobody learns with these guys. Like, give me points. We'll talk. Like, no, we're not laying, Gabe. Like, what is here? No.
They've lost. They've won like 4 games in their last 30 games, like overall. Somehow they're favored.
of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially level of event, level of competition that I really enjoy. Right, being able to play in Spain.
You're in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. So special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only 50 years old now, but it's so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Champions, and now we live.
It's exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today? It's
I
brutal
mean,
out there.
it is brutal. I don't know. I just did everything I looked at, Jerry. This is one of those days. So, I really enjoyed it. Every time I cover a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like it too often, or certainly I don't. So, I relished in it. And I did a lot of good shots as well. So, it's a special day.
This Dodgers-Giants game is just cruising along right now. Already in the top of the fourth inning. We should know the San Francisco Giants do have runners on first and second right now. The in-game total is 6.5. Giants are now minus 120. For the prop players, Joe and Cam, now 6 strikeouts. He's got 2 strikeouts right now. And a little bit off the pace. And I've got River Ryan over 3.5 strikeouts, and he's only got 1. So it looks like we could all be going down in flames with the strikeout props. Nobody's striking out tonight. Yeah. One thing when you bet on strikeout props, Joe, it's so frustrating when you watch the game. And anytime anybody makes contact, it just upsets me. I'm like, oh, God, just stop.
With you.
Right? Like, buddy on the Dodgers had 2 strikes. Ryan had 2 strikes on someone on San Francisco, and they popped out like by the dugout. And I was like, come on, go out of bounds. Like, go into the stands, go into the stands. But, of course, Freeman, made a catch by the dugout. It's like, oh, I got it. It's out. So he's stuck at 1 strikeout right now. Blake Snell stuck at 2 strikeouts. The other game of the week is Saskatchewan and Montreal, which is going to be a great football game. The Rough Riders have really exceeded expectations. A lot of people like the win total over 7.5 in camp, but people didn't think they were going to be in first place at this juncture of the season like they are right now. But they got a tough game this week going into Montreal. Books seem to be weary of putting a point spread up due to both quarterbacks being beat up. So you got Shea Patterson, Cody Fajardo got beat up in the last game, Joe. But I'm expecting Saskatchewan. They're the ones that are now due for a bad game on the road. I'm just waiting for a line. I want to see the lineup and stuff. But if Fajardo plays, the Alouettes will win this game.
I'm with you. I think defense is really going to control this game, though, between the two of them, because we look at Saskatchewan, their defense is solid. They were able to get those interceptions. I didn't really believe in defense until I saw them against BC and getting those interceptions on Brendan Adams Jr. because he's at a level of quarterback that their prior opponents weren't at. So I do think we'll see Saskatchewan's defense nice and strong, but Montreal, we know the Alouettes' defense come out nice and strong. I am expecting a lower scoring game. So I'm waiting to see how low they come out with this number. I would think they would put this at 46 and a half, and definitely it to the under. I don't think it even comes close to that. I think it's a 42-ish style game here, Gabe.
Yeah, that's tough in the CFL, especially with the Rough Riders. Their defense is really good, but their defense creates turnovers and gives them good field position often. Yep. And it's just the Saskatchewan Rough Riders are 15-2 to the over in their last 17 games. Albeit this last one did stay under the number. Their defense is awesome. It's Corey Mace, head coach. He was the defensive coordinator of the Toronto Argonauts. He's gone over to the Rough Riders and just implemented some sort of like killer instinct attitude about take the ball, it's our ball, and give him credit. Look, he won a Grey Cup with the Argonauts, done a great job. Has his team in first place right now. Red Sox have just tied it 5-5 with the Colorado Rockies.
I will say this too, and I'm on you. There's a crowd with Montreal. Because, like, if you look at Saskatchewan on the road, losing to BC by 15. Remember at Hamilton, very, very close game. They lost by 3 points in that game. Yeah, you beat Edmonton by 8. So big difference when you're taking that show on the road against a defense like Montreal. How talented they are. So I'm with you. I think this is a great week to jump on Montreal.
Yeah, it's a short week too. Now the Rough Riders are the ones that have to go on the road, go all the way to the East Coast. A lot of the CFL guys really is scheduling. Like, you know, I mean, teams get put in weird spots, bad spots, and end up paying the price for it, you see. And the NFL preseason starts next Thursday, so we'll have a new football to have in the rotation. Hall of Fame game next Thursday night, and the following week, full slate of NFL preseason baseball. The San Francisco Giants have just taken a 1-0 lead on a wild pitch. That's frustrating. They had runners on second and third, and the ball got away from Will Smith. That's not a wild pitch. That's just all Will Smith. He should have caught that. It was actually a good pitch. It gets away from Will Smith. Runner from third scores. San Francisco take a 1-0 lead on the Los Angeles Dodgers. So great stuff. We'll catch up with you either later in the week or next week. Enjoy the game.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event